We librarians are usually passionate about intellectual freedom, but oftentimes our teachers have not had an opportunity to think through the thorny issues surrounding book and video selection, both in their classes and in their schools' media centers. That's why I jump at the chance to talk with college classes about intellectual freedom. Talking and writing about these issues gives practicing and pre-service teachers a chance to reflect. That's what was happening in Dr. Chris Chrisman's YA literature class recently. The class got off to a surprisingly personal note when I learned that one young teacher had already had to deal with a challenge to one of her class reading selections. What books are you?
Yeah, I've raised a few eyebrows actually with the books that I chose. I let them choose one from the 6 that I read from the book clubs that are doing the Prince book clubs and all those in the area. And most of my kids have chosen Godless, but I had a parent get very upset over Vegan Virgin Valentine. And so I've been working through that for the past week. And I've had a couple read How I Live Now, and I'm really looking forward to getting their responses back on how they've reacted to those.
What was fascinating, I would be interested in what they say as well, because my understanding from Teresa Brantley, who works, who has a Prince Club in her Middle Creek High School, was that her students really could not identify with the young woman in How I Live Now. They could not identify with the whole Holocaust, with the complete deprivation, with the removal of everything that they know and have grown up with, and they just could not process it. So it'll be interesting to see. I would love to find out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting their responses back, because they're talking a lot about Godless, because so many of them have read it, but I'm forward to seeing what they say about How I Live Now. And I was glad I got over that Vegan Virgin Valentine hurdle with that.
Sounds like you handled it very well.
Well,
Chris shared a little bit of that with me, and it sounds like you did a very nice job of that.
Well, I try.
Why don't you share with the rest of the group what happened?
Well, basically, and I guess because I'm young, and I guess, I don't know, the language just didn't catch me off guard as much as it did parents when a girl's parents went in and picked Vegan Virgin Valentine up off the shelf. Because that was the one I had told the girls that I liked the most, and that it was the most girly book of all the ones on the list. And so the parents go in and pick it up, and I guess the first page the dad turned to has MF on it. And then they ran into somebody else in the bookstore who said, "Oh, that's a horrible book, put it away and don't let your child read it." Then they got into, I guess, when the guy comes over to her house, her boyfriend comes over. But I don't even remember, I don't think that was that explicit compared to some other things that we see in some of the classics that I teach in the classroom. So I just never thought Vegan Virgin Valentine would get the reaction. And so when the girl came in, I immediately called her parents after school and was like, let me explain the project, let me explain what I see in this book. And the dad was just like, well, I have religion and I have morals and I have values, and obviously you don't, and I don't understand why you're trying to sway our kids in this direction and all of this. It was just he was being very accusatory, and I just pretty much tried to explain to him that I saw it more as a message thing than to look past the language and look past the events, that a lot of these same things occur in the classics that we've taught forever, and that I don't sway my kids anyway. We look at both sides of all the issues anyway. And so he never backed down when he talked to me, but the girl came in the next day with Godless and said, "Oh yeah, he's calmed down and he sees it exactly what you're saying, that it's all about message."